Hi, I'm Weston. I love talking about the Jets, and I'm here to talk about Week 7, where the Jets win 16-9 over the Denver Broncos. Oh my god, that was ugly. Note that most of the time that I have watched the Jets, they have been pretty terrible. And so most of the times that the Jets win, which isn't often, but when they do, it's usually an ugly win. So keep that in mind when I say that was the ugliest win I've ever watched. Yeah, so if you think that I'm going to go like play by play or drive by drive, you're out of your mind because I'm not reliving that nightmarish hellscape that was this game. We're just going to talk about general player performances and go from there. So Breece Hall, for while he was in this game, played really, really well. And 62-yard touchdown rush, I mean, my gosh, he's fast, he finds the hole, when he finds the hole, he just guns it. He's great. He's a great player. Great vision, great speed. And then he left the game injured. And you hope and pray that it's nothing major, because if he has a major injury and is missing anything more than maybe a week or 2 or 3 because of the bye, you're kind of boned. And clearly, this team needs a run game to be successful. So if it's anything long term, that is going to be disastrous. And that brings us to the elephant in the room, which is the passing game was absolutely terrible. There is no receiver to talk about because Zach Wilson completed like 2 passes. And I am barely exaggerating. This was, bar none, the worst game Zach Wilson has played in a Jet uniform. And I don't like saying that. I wish I didn't have to. But holy crap. He looked absolutely awful today. He was missing reads. He was missing easy throws. He was just off. And there's no other way to put it other than saying he was off. He was out of it. You can use any of those terms you want. He didn't play well. And you can chalk the... This is the last game of the season that we're going to say blank for Zach Wilson. Right? The first game we gave him excuses. The second and third game, well, he didn't make any mistakes. This was, well, it was extreme wind, and it's one of the West Coast games, and you're playing an elite defense. Because, elite defense. That's the excuse they give when, good quarterbacks have bad games, right? I mean, look, you can't do it anymore. This is the last time that we're going to let Zach Wilson get off the hook with a game like this. This was awful. This was an awful performance. This is awful for a rookie performance. For a second year with this system, it's unacceptable. Too many bad plays where he just isn't going through his reads. And next week you're playing, I don't care that Belichick has this history of eating alive young quarterbacks and I don't care. You are infinitely better than the New England Patriots. I can't believe I'm saying that seriously. You are way better than the New England Patriots. You're going to go into New York next week or come home to New York, and you're going to beat them if you are the guy. But if you want a positive and talk about the guys, holy crap, the defense. 9 points, 1 touchdown, a field goal. They looked great. They looked sloppy from time to time. They gave up a lot of penalties, but they had clutch stops when they needed it. The defensive line looks good. They had a bit of pressure. I don't believe there was a sack. If there was, there might have only been 1 today. But the defensive line they wreaked havoc. They had pressure. That's what you want. The linebacking core, specifically Quan Alexander, is utterly amazing. How was he available for the Jets to snag this guy? It's unbelievable. He looks amazing. And the corners. DJ Reed looks fantastic. He looks fantastic. A beautiful CBT, or CB2. And I say CB2 because Sauce Gardner is unbelievable this season. And I said it last week. I will say it again because Rookie of the Year defensively almost seems like it's been locked up by Sauce Gardner. Watching him continue to play and have games like this, just Defensive Player of the Year comes into thought. This is he in 7 games, I feel, has already put himself as a top 5 corner in this league. This season, who's better? He is unbelievable in man coverage. I'm speechless watching Sauce Gardner. Like I became a fan of the Jets in like mid 2009. So I watched a bit of the Revis prime, and then Revis's vintage 2015 with the Jets. So I'm not going to say the prime because 2009 was genuinely one of the best years ever by a corner. Not Jets seasons, but ever. The past decade, I can say, from 2012 to now, this is the best cornerback play the New York Jets have ever gotten, and it is out of a rookie in Sauce Gardner. He is absolutely jaw-dropping to watch. He's jaw-dropping to watch as a corner in general, but the fact that this is a rookie and a player that a lot of people said, man, is he going to be able to come into this level? You know, he didn't face a lot of high competition in college and been this good. Guys, the Jets have not found a good, not even a great player. They have found a generational lockdown corner. And as someone who wasn't a huge fan of the pick on draft night, never have I been so excited to be this wrong about something. So if you're the Jets for this game, you are grateful for the win, you burn all the game tape, never talk about it again, and drive the Patriots into the ground next week. That's your mission. And before I end the video, I will say a little bit on the Elijah Moore thing. That is absolutely ridiculous. And God, like, what? That was comical that Elijah Moore has gone from a up-and-coming talent for the Jets to now demanding a trade and just being not even on the field. I had a lot of hope for Elijah Moore. I mean, this is, wow, right? This is, and like, a lot of times the term selfish player is thrown around a lot in sports, and it can be for anyone. This is like the most selfish player, right? Like, this isn't even like subtle. I mean, this is, your team is winning. Your team is having the best start in, 7 years, and you want to be traded because you're not being utilized enough, even though you have the most snaps of any receiver, and you're like 3 targets away from being second on the team in targets, but you're third, and it's not like there's a big gap. I mean, this is the definition of selfish, and it's kind of funny in a way. Like, this is... And the Jets have enough leverage right now, depending on a run game, depending on guys like Garrett Wilson, guys like CJ Uzomah, guys like, if you want to use him more in the passing game, and Conklin too, Corey Davis, Braxton Berrios. You have enough other players that if Moore decides to pout and not come back, it sucks because he's a talented player, but you can live without him. And if you have to trade him, you can get a lot of assets. He's a young, talented receiver, but he will come with the baggage of, clearly, if he is not your number 1 or high number 2 target, he will throw a hissy fit and want to run away. So that's for that. And now we go into next week, 1 o'clock. The Jets are home for the Patriots, and facing your greatest demon, the greatest skeleton in your closet. If you truly are not the same old Jets, you're going to win that game. Because winning all these games, this was a stereotypical trap game for the Jets, and they managed to win it. So going into next week, if you want all of the Jets fandom to finally know we're done with this, we are not the same old Jets anymore. We are an improved team. We are a new team. You never had to worry about gaining the fans back in attendance. You have to worry about gaining the trust back. And if you can beat the Patriots and slay that demon, that's going to do a lot to gain the trust back of the fan base. So next Sunday at 1, I'll be here afterwards to talk about it. But that's it for the game. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you all have an absolutely fantastic day, and as always, go Jets.